Today, we're revealing one of the biggest breakthroughs in diabetes since the discovery of insulin. You're about to hear from three of the world's top doctors, Dr. Peter Scott, Dr. Daniel Wilson, and Dr. Chad Parliament. These pioneers uncovered a hidden truth about diabetes, a disease that claims 3.4 million lives every year. What they're going to share has never been made public, until now. For 18 months, they led the largest diabetes study ever conducted, backed by Zurich Medical School and Harvard Medical School. The results were published in June 2023 in two of the world's most respected medical journals, Diabetologist and Nature Medicine. The study analyzed the gut microbiome of over 8,100 people with diabetes from the USA, Israel, Sweden, Finland, Germany, France, and China. What they found shocked the entire medical community. Dr. Peter Scott of Harvard explained that in every diabetic patient, no matter their country, researchers found a tiny bacterium in the gut that acts like a sugar factory. It makes blood sugar spike while silently damaging the heart, liver, and pancreas, he said. Here's the real breakthrough. When this bacterium was removed, blood sugar levels returned to normal in just a few days, like flipping a switch on diabetes. Scott added, anyone, at any age, can get rid of this invader in days, without dieting, exercising, or leaving home. All it takes is one simple daily habit. It's simpler than you think, cheaper than your daily coffee, and often takes just a few seconds. It all comes down to doing a proper cleanse of your intestine, something that everyone should do once a day. Because this cleanse has the ability to sweep away the bad bacteria, while at the same time filling your gut microbiome with good healthy bacteria, increasing insulin absorption by up to 400%, and helping your body metabolize glucose at lightning speed. I personally use this cleanse every day, and it truly saved my life by freeing me from the horrible effects of diabetes. And it's not just me. There are thousands of people who have already broken free from diabetes by flushing out the diabetes bacteria from their guts.
I kicked this off on a Friday, and by Wednesday, my blood sugar was already on cruise control mode. No more 3 p.m. crashes, no more midnight fridge rating, and I wake up feeling like my battery's at a full 100% again.
Since I jumped on this method, my blood sugar has been rock steady. I don't have to haul snacks everywhere. And look, I even lost a few pounds and my energy has been through the roof. It's as simple as that.
I started 4 weeks ago and my blood sugar is normal now. I'm not on any diet and I have lost 39 pounds. Really appreciate it.
Hi, I'm Dr. Daniel Wilson. I graduated the University of Zurich in Switzerland, and I completed my master's degree here in the US at one of the largest universities in the world. Since the beginning of my career, I've already helped over 32,000 people get rid of diabetes naturally, without medication, injections, or anything like that. I've spent the last 2 years working with my team of doctors and scientists to figure out a way to stop this parasite that's already estimated to be infecting 200 million Americans. Today, I'm handing every diabetic the blueprint for a gut cleanse that sweeps out bacteria secretly spiking your blood sugar into the danger zone. I learned how to do this myself, and as a doctor, I recommend it to everyone. Also, I want to show you the 7 most dangerous and deadly drugs marketed by the pharmaceutical industry that should be banned for diabetics and pre-diabetics, as they can potentially cause serious risks like blindness and amputation. And I'll explain you how the discovery of this cleanse is leading tens of thousands of Americans to throw away their medications and insulin injections, completely getting rid of type 2 in a 100% natural way. So let's begin. Now, my specialty is diabetology, and until a year ago, I used to recommend common medications like metformin, glibenclamide, and of course, in more severe cases, we resorted to daily insulin injections. That's in addition to recommending cutting carbs, exercising, improving diet, all those things that people with diabetes are tired of hearing. But gradually, I started to notice something bizarre. At first, the treatment seemed to be working perfectly, but after a while, the medications stopped being effective. Side effects started to show up, and many of my patients came to me afraid, saying they were losing hope. They blamed themselves. They wondered what they had done wrong to deserve this. They couldn't understand why. Even after following the treatments and taking more medication, they were still suffering so much from the disease. And I admit, I used to tell them, listen, maybe you aren't following the treatment exactly as prescribed. Until one day when I found out that I had diabetes too, and I truly understood what my patients were going through. At first, I started noticing some unusual symptoms. I would suddenly have uncontrollable cravings for chocolate and other desserts like warm apple pie. Then I began to feel tired, which made it hard to work. So I did a fasting test, and the disease was confirmed. I had type 2 diabetes. My blood sugar levels were hitting 252, which can be quite dangerous. These values require immediate medical attention. I started with metformin, insulin injections, and kept monitoring the situation to see if the blood sugar would decrease. Of course, I completely cut out all the sweets and carbohydrates, which was a big sacrifice for me. But even so, my situation only seemed to get worse. I was experiencing high blood pressure, high cholesterol, and weight gain. I also felt a lack of energy, couldn't eat anything I enjoyed, and wasn't able to do the things I loved. I didn't even feel capable of going to the gym. So I increased my medication dosages, and I ended up taking 7 pills a day. But over time, not only did they lose effectiveness, the side effects were actually worse than the benefits. I started having stomach problems, hypoglycemic episodes, and even sudden fainting spells. After trying more than 10 different medications with no success, I had to look into alternative options. So I made an effort to try everything that you can possibly imagine. Diabetes books, exercise programs. I even tried different alternative therapies, from acupuncture to exotic teas, but none of them came even close to offering a real cure for diabetes. It felt like I was trapped in a maze with basically no way out, and nothing I tried seemed to lead me to the right direction. Until one day, when I had a serious crisis and fainted on the kitchen floor. Thank God, it was only a scare. I woke up in the hospital, surrounded by colleagues who felt sorry for me. That was the hardest moment of my entire life. That moment made me realize that diabetes is a plague, a silent plague, that slowly turns a person into a prisoner and steals everything: independence, freedom, and the joy of life. And after my colleagues managed to stabilize me, I went home and I made a heartfelt promise to myself. I would search the entire world to find a definitive solution, something that not only manages diabetes but completely reverses it. And not just for me, but for all the other patients who are missing out on life because of this disease and its devastating impact. So please pay very close attention right now, because the pharmaceutical industry will do anything, absolutely anything, to keep the information that I'm about to share hidden. They have silenced me and my colleagues many times before. But today, I'm here to reveal all the dirty secrets of the pharmaceutical mafia and to prove that there is, in fact, a natural and definitive solution to fight diabetes, one that is being deliberately kept from the public. So here we go. Let me show you how you can take full control of your blood sugar starting today. And that's exactly what I did. Once I became more motivated than ever, I started looking into the latest discoveries in the field of diabetology, because it was obvious that insulin was no longer enough. And the truth is, insulin is a 100-year-old treatment, and in all that time, it has not cured a single person of diabetes. But since I'm a doctor, we have access to medical information that you can't easily find in the media. So I started sending emails and calling all my former classmates and medical friends who work in top research centers around the world, people who could help me identify new solutions for diabetes. That's how I gained access to a new and innovative study from 2023, published in the journal Diabetologist and conducted by researchers from Zurich Medical School. They discovered that the bacteria in our gut have a direct influence on how the body absorbs glucose. Individuals with low blood sugar levels have higher amounts of a certain type of bacteria in their intestines, called Bacteroides, or beneficial bacteria. Meanwhile, people with high blood sugar levels, prediabetes or diabetes, have more Firmicutes bacteria, or bad bacteria. These affect our metabolic health, cause insulin resistance, and ultimately lead to the development of type 2 diabetes. I know this may sound kind of strange, right? But this crazy idea was also scientifically proven a few years ago by a doctor named Purna Kashyap, head of the Gut Microbiota Laboratory in the United Kingdom. Look at his experiment. He gathered a group of 337 diabetic and pre-diabetic individuals to study their common traits. So he carried out numerous tests related to diet, genetics, medications, and physical activity, conducting thorough research. However, the only thing all participants had in common, without exception, was the presence of harmful bacteria in their intestines. Next, he brought together another group of 250 people of different weights and ages who had never shown any signs of diabetes. In guess what they all had in common? All of them had a gut microbiota with a significantly higher amount of bacteroids, the good bacteria, compared to the bad bacteria. With this, he managed to prove, beyond any doubt, that an imbalance in the gut microbiota, where harmful bacteria overpower the good ones, is the main cause of type 2 diabetes. Now, diabetes has always been closely associated with the pancreas, since that's where the insulin is produced, of course. But the latest research proves that even in people with diabetes, the pancreas still produces enough insulin to control blood sugar levels. The real issue starts when your gut bacteria fall out of balance. That's when your body can no longer absorb insulin the way it should. This leads to what we call insulin resistance, which clogs the bloodstream and causes blood sugar levels to rise. You see, our gut is like a seesaw. On one side, we have the bacteroids, the good bacteria. On the other side, we have firmicutes, the bad bacteria. In a healthy gut, the ideal balance is 75% good bacteria and 25% bad bacteria. In other words, the heavier side of the seesaw should be the good bacteria. But when your gut bacteria fall out of this balance, the bad bacteria take over and the balance shifts. You end up with 75% bad bacteria and only 25% good bacteria. As a result, insulin can't get into the cells, glucose can't be broken down, and it stays trapped in your bloodstream. This is exactly how the intestines of all people with diabetes look today, overrun by bad bacteria. But what causes this out of balance, I ask myself? Why does our gut end up with more bad bacteria than good? Well, one of the factors is aging, and as sad as it may sound, the older we get, the fewer healthy bacteria our gut produces. That's why type 2 diabetes is more common in older adults, and that's why we need to take even better care of ourselves. But the real culprit is the environment we live in today, filled with toxic substances that boost the growth of harmful bacteria in our intestines, leading to type 2. One example is Bisphenol A, a toxin found in plastics, food packaging, cleaning products, and other everyday items. According to a recent study by the University of Cambridge, bisphenol A increases the growth of harmful bacteria by up to 85% while reducing beneficial bacteria. It's directly linked to problems like obesity, bloating, and inflammation. You know, we're actually living through a diabetes epidemic right now. In 2020, a WHO report estimated that 463 million people, or 9.3% of all adults aged 20 to 79, were living with diabetes. That's 3 times more than in 2009. So if aging were the only factor, this rise wouldn't be happening. The truth is, the toxins in processed foods and the chemicals we're constantly exposed to have seriously damaged the health of our gut, and they've turned diabetes and obesity into the biggest plagues of the 21st century. So after I discovered that the key to controlling and reversing diabetes is fighting disruption of the microbiome, I started studying and researching for a way to increase the number of good bacteria in the gut. And I knew that to do this, I had to go straight to the source. The University of Zurich, the school that trained me as a doctor. After many hours of flights, research, and meetings with my former professors and world-renowned experts in medical training, I found the best studies showing the impact of certain substances. They do 3 key things. They cleanse the colon, remove bad bacteria, and restore good bacteria to support gut health, supporting the healing process by covering 3 essential stages. 1. Cleansing, flushing out toxins and accumulated waste from the colon, helping create a clean foundation for recovery. 2nd, elimination, targeting and removing harmful bacteria that interfere with digestion, immunity, and insulin absorption. 3. Restoration, repopulating the gut with beneficial bacteria to help rebalance the microbiome, support the reversal of type 2 diabetes, and promote long-term health and stability. The first study, and one of the most important, dates back to 2015 and shows how psyllium fiber improves glycemic control in proportion to the degree of blood sugar imbalance. These fibers have the ability to cleanse the gut, which is the first step toward healing. But that's not all. In the double-blind, controlled study conducted in Germany, doses of 3.4 and 6.8 grams of psyllium were given twice a day, which resulted in a decrease in glycemic index by approximately 30 points in individuals with blood sugar levels over 200. At the same time, all participants in the study lost a significant amount of weight, around 8% of their total body weight, which clearly indicates a deep internal cleanse. Then, another study conducted by Harvard University showed that 15 grams of flaxseed taken before breakfast reduced reduced blood sugar spikes by 24% in patients with type 2 diabetes. Next, it was proven that 20 grams of pectin per day for 4 weeks in patients with type 2 diabetes slowed gastric emptying by 43%, stimulated satiety, improved insulin sensitivity, and reduced oxidative stress, which would already represent a second major step into the path to reversing diabetes. At the same time, pectin acts as a prebiotic, meaning it feeds the good bacteria already present in the gut, strengthening them and making them more capable of fighting off harmful bacteria. You could say that pectin prepares the army of good bacteria for battle. Reading the results of these trials, I realized that I needed someone to help me not only source the best quality ingredients, but also extract them properly in a way that would preserve their properties. For example, pectin requires a special extraction method in order to maintain its full benefits. And the one who helped me was my thesis advisor, Dr. Chad Parlement, a PhD in metabolism, who insisted we also add a few more ingredients, considered divine across Europe. The first ingredient was plums, which contains sorbitol, a natural sugar that draws water into the colon, softens stool, and promotes elimination. At the same time, phenolic acids in plums have anti-inflammatory and antibacterial effects, protecting the intestinal lining and supporting natural detoxification. Then oat bran, because it contains beta-glucans, soluble fibers that reduce post-meal blood sugar and cholesterol levels, which are extremely beneficial for diabetics. And of course, Lactobacillus acidophilus, probiotics that influence the gut microbiome and are associated with improved glucose metabolism and increased insulin sensitivity. They effectively flood the gut with good bacteria, maintaining its health and balance. In fact, it helps repopulate the gut with that crucial 75% of beneficial bacteria we talked about earlier, thus completing the full healing matrix. After we had the complete formula, we gathered 437 diabetic patients, including myself, with one goal: to conduct a study on the effect of this blend on gut microbiota and see how it would impact glucose levels. There were newly diagnosed patients, as well as people who had been living with diabetes for over 10 years, even 40 years, and the test results left us speechless. The average blood sugar level of the group, which was around 250, dropped to an impressive 89. Mine, after just 10 days, was already down to about 100, and within 3 weeks of the study, 84% of participants had fully reversed their diabetes and were completely cured. Now, the remaining 16% managed to regulate their blood sugar levels and gain full control over the disease. An interesting fact, all participants quickly lost 5 to 15 pounds, because when the intestine is regulated, the metabolism returns to its full potential and starts burning fat that was previously stored around the belly and throughout the body. And the fibers in the mix also helps eliminate all those residues that have been sitting in your colon for years, the ones that made you feel tired and sluggish. This helps you lose an extra 4 to 5 pounds on average. After another 2 weeks of testing the solution, 100% of the participants were cured of diabetes. So with this, it was proven, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that this blend is the only one capable of transforming anyone's gut microbiota, even in the elderly. By cleansing the colon and populating the intestine with good bacteria, the cells in the body immediately begin to absorb the insulin produced by the pancreas. As a result, blood sugar levels stabilize, and the glucose that was previously trapped in the bloodstream is metabolized and flushed out of the body. And do you know even what's more amazing? When you eliminate these harmful toxins from your body, not only do you lose weight, but your skin cells begin to regenerate at the same rate as they did when you were in your 20s. This process, called cellular regeneration, is when the body naturally replaces old and loose cells with new elastic ones. It's the main reason wrinkles, sagging skin, and fine lines caused by premature aging begin to reverse. It's very common for patients to notice smoother, firmer, and more youthful-looking skin during the treatment. Now, you might be wondering, why isn't anyone talking about this, right? Because I only just completed everything. I wanted to be sure that diabetes wouldn't come back, and I wanted to observe any possible side effects, which, by the way, are zero. But I'm sure that soon the giants of Big Pharma will come for me. They'll try to shut me up or convince me to sell them the formula, but that will never happen. Just to give you an idea, in 2023 alone, the pharmaceutical industry made over $157 billion in revenue, and that's just in the United States. The more people get sick and rely on medication, the more money they make. So I rolled up my sleeves and got to work ahead of everything Big Pharma stands for. I searched for the biggest and safest laboratory in the US, and after I presented all the data and studies on the action of these substances on the gut microbiota of diabetic patients, they realized they were looking at a unique opportunity, a real solution that could not just treat, but actually cure millions of people around the world suffering the nightmare of living with type 2 diabetes. So thankfully, they agreed to develop the formula. It was a period of 7 months filled with hard work, experiments, and failed attempts in the search for a method to preserve all the properties of the ingredients without contaminating them in the preparation process. Until, in November 2024, we finally succeeded in creating a definitive and proven formula. A solution that can effectively repopulate the intestines of any person with beneficial bacteria while eliminating harmful bacteria, leading to long-lasting blood sugar regulation, weight loss, and offering a permanent solution for everyone. Now I can say without a shadow of a doubt, in all my years of practice, I have never seen anything as unique and powerful for controlling blood sugar. This mix works directly at the root of the problem, restoring gut microbiota with beneficial bacteria and helping our cells absorb insulin. And the more insulin absorbed, the less sugar remains in the bloodstream. I decided to name the formula Sugar Mute because it seals your gut, making it immune to the attack of bad bacteria and revitalizes it with beneficial bacteria, transforming blood sugar levels almost like magic. Now let me explain my exact healing process so you'll know what to expect. In general, the treatment lasts 6 months, but not even in my wildest dreams did I imagine what would happen next, because during the first 7 days, my blood sugar dropped dramatically, from 250 to 115. I started waking up with more energy, feeling happier, wanting to get up and do things again. By day 11, my blood sugar was already around 100, and I had already lost almost 9 pounds. Within 4 weeks, my blood sugar stabilized at 89, completely under control. And when the test results came back confirming I was no longer diabetic, the first thing I did was go home and throw away all my medications. All that stress, that constant anxiety of the next needle prick, the next pill, that feeling of being a burden to my family, it all turned into freedom and joy. Freedom to enjoy life's small pleasures, like having a slice of cake at my kid's birthday party or taking a walk without worries. And the joy of being fully present again, laughing, playing, and living real moments with my children and grandchildren. My life was no longer dictated by the numbers on a glucose meter, but by pride, confidence, and admiration. By the willpower that carried me through, and of course, by gratitude to God for this new chance to live fully, the way life is meant to be lived. This is the formula I now recommend to my patients, and every time I see their results, it fills me with satisfaction.
So, this is the first time in my life that I am genuinely happy with my blood sugar control. Some of my friends even suspect that I found some secret trick. My glucose readings and my waistline have really transformed. My sister even started following this method too, and now she calls me every day just to thank me. I hope that more people will try it because it's unbelievable what it can do.
I've been living with type 2 diabetes for about 12 years. And honestly, I just thought it was something I'd always have, something I'd have to learn to live with. Then I found this simple cleanse, and after just 6 weeks of sticking with it, everything has changed. And it's easy, but more importantly, it works. I feel like I got my life back. My family, especially my wife and kids, noticed a difference in me pretty much right away. They used to try to hide how worried they were. I'd prick my finger for a test, they'd ask the numbers, and I'd tell them, and I could just see it in their eyes. Now when they look at me, it's not with fear in their eyes, it's a look of relief, a look of happiness, confidence, and pride.
Now, you're probably wondering how you can get your hands on Sugar Mute, and I'll admit, it's not exactly easy. But before that, I want to explain what happens when someone takes just 2 Sugar Mute capsules daily for over a month. It becomes nearly impossible not to manage your blood sugar indefinitely. Yes, that's the result. At the same time, you'll lose weight, have more energy, feel less hungry, enjoy younger-looking skin, firmer muscles, and a long list of other health and life benefits. Now, before you place your order, I want you to compare Sugar Mute to the medications you already know, like metformin, insulin injections, and all those so-called natural supplements that claim to fight diabetes. Over my decades-long career as a health specialist, I've seen countless people who have tried everything. Insulin injections, strict diets, regular exercise, metformin, and all kinds of natural supplements. But in the end, not only did many of them fail to get satisfying results, they also suffered from serious side effects and continued to deal with the painful symptoms of diabetes. Sugar Mute works at the true root cause of the problem. It clears the intestines of the harmful bacteria that cause diabetes and floods the body with beneficial bacteria that help your cells begin absorbing the insulin produced by your pancreas just like they used to. Even better, the formula was created to work for anyone, regardless of age, weight, genetics, or the severity of the condition. There's no need to cut carbs or sugar, no restrictive diets, no intense workouts. All you need to do is take 2 capsules every morning and let your body start working in your favor. What you need to know is that I always recommend taking the treatment for at least 6 months. The longer you've had diabetes, the more damage it has done to your body. And to fully reverse those effects and restore proper function, a full 6-month course is the safest and most complete option. Also, please note, Sugar Mute is only available in our official website. We do not sell it in pharmacies because pharmaceutical companies want to mark up the price by up to 10 times. We believe that's wrong. Sugar Mute is also not available on Amazon, eBay, or other online marketplaces due to the high number of counterfeit products. Here's why. We use only the purest, highest quality ingredients in Sugar Mute, many of which are sourced from other continents. Every single ingredient is double tested before going into a capsule to ensure purity, potency, and the complete absence of allergens or toxins. Each capsule is 100% vegetarian, lactose-free, and contains no glucose. It's packaged in a sealed, protective bottle to ensure that no harmful chemicals or additives come into contact with the formula. We refuse to cut corners when it comes to quality, even though this makes production obviously more expensive. In fact, our very first batch sold for $210 per bottle, and people were happy to pay that price because they knew it worked. Since then, customers have been spreading the word to friends, family, and co-workers. Thankfully, thousands of people across the country who take their health seriously now order Sugar Mute every single day. As demand increased, we were able to negotiate better prices for our imported ingredients. But instead of keeping the price high and making huge profits like most companies, we decided to do things differently. Because our goal has never been money. What I want most is for this formula to reach as many people as possible so that more lives can be transformed every day. I know it's a bold goal, but I want to contribute to lowering the global diabetes rate and truly make a difference in the world. It wasn't easy, but I managed to cut the price. So if you choose the full treatment plan, which regulates your gut microbiota, stabilizes your blood sugar, supports permanent results, you can now get a full bottle of Sugar Mute for just $1.50 a day. That's $49 per bottle when you select our 6-bottle package, by far our most popular and cost-effective option. If you only want to order 1 bottle, that's totally fine too, but we're not able to extend the bulk discount for single bottles. Even then, the price is a small investment compared to what you gain: peace of mind, stable blood sugar, and long-term health protection. And because I genuinely appreciate that you've taken the time to watch this presentation. If you choose the 3 or 6 bottle package today, you'll receive exclusive bonus gifts just as a thank you from me and my team. So why is the 6 bottle package such a smart choice? While many users feel powerful results in just a few weeks, true breakthroughs usually occur between 90 and 180 days of consistent Sugar Mute use. We've seen it again and again. This formula works best when your gut has time to heal, absorb nutrients, and reset your microbiome. That's why I strongly recommend a minimum 90-day supply to give your body enough time to achieve real, lasting transformation. But if you're ready to go all in and save the most, the 6-bottle package is the smartest option. The truth is, we can't know exactly how damaged your gut microbiome is or how advanced your diabetic microbiome has become. It depends on a few things, like your age, where you live, how stressed you are, and how often you've been exposed to toxins. But if you're over 40 and have been struggling with blood sugar fluctuations, I strongly suggest 3 to 6 months of Sugar Mute, especially 6 months. If you want to be absolutely sure your gut has fully recovered and your insulin sensitivity is restored, a full 6-month course will rebalance glucose production, boost daily energy, eliminate dangerous blood sugar spikes, and allow Sugar Mute's powerful nutrients to build up in your system and deliver results that last. In short, the longer you take Sugar Mute, the better you'll feel, and the more stable your blood sugar will become. Your progress builds over time, so don't get halfway to relief and then run out of your supply, missing even a day could leave your gut vulnerable again and pause or even reverse your progress. Worse, if you wait too long for the next batch to become available, the price may double or it may be sold out altogether. So why take the risk? Lock in your 6-bottle package today at a steep discount. You'll also get free shipping, so your order arrives with no added cost. But that's not all. If you're wise enough to go with the 3 or 6 month supply, you'll also receive 2 free bonus digital guides valued at $148 at no extra cost. These guides are designed to help restore your entire body's balance, so it's not just your blood sugar that improves. Your overall well-being gets a major upgrade too. The first bonus, clear mind, sharp memory. Inside this exclusive guide, you'll discover how to naturally boost memory, focus, and total brain performance, while also supporting blood sugar balance and healthy weight management. It answers one of the most common questions that I get from people with diabetes. Why do I feel so foggy or forgetful and mentally drained even when I eat healthy? Here's a preview of what's inside. A simple yet powerful morning brain-boosting ritual that improves mental clarity and focus while also supporting healthy liver and glucose levels. 3 surprising ways high blood sugar affects your brain and memory, and how to protect your mind before long-term damage sets in. 7 science-backed habits for improving memory and cognitive sharpness, habits that also reduce stress and promote lasting fat loss. Plus, the hidden connection between belly fat, inflammation, and brain fog, and what you can do about it starting today. This guide is perfect for anyone who wants to feel sharper, more energized, and more present without relying on caffeine, stimulants, or ineffective brain hacks. Bonus number 2, Hello, Radiant Energy. This guide helps you reignite your stamina and bring back the youthful energy you've been missing. You'll discover a circulation-boosting routine that helps you wake up refreshed and maintain healthy glucose all day. The most dangerous health trends of the year and the science-backed alternatives that actually work. I can't wait for you to read these. You'll get instant access to both guides as soon as you place your order. They'll make a major difference in your life. Guaranteed. Still feeling unsure? I completely understand. Maybe you've tried countless methods, spent too much money already, and still didn't get the results that you hoped for. That's exactly why we're backing Sugar Mute with a 100% ironclad 120-day money-back guarantee. If you don't see a dramatic improvement in your blood sugar or overall health, or if you're unhappy for any reason, just contact us within 120 days of your purchase. Send us the bottles, even if they're empty, and we'll issue a fast, hassle-free refund. No questions asked. Our friendly US-based support team is here to help, and you'll find our contact info at the bottom of this page. That gives you 4 full months to try Sugar Mute, completely risk-free. There are no subscriptions, no hidden fees, and your order today is a one-time payment. Just choose your package below, click your preferred option, and you'll be taken to a secure checkout page. Enter your payment details, and we'll ship your order right away in a discreet, secure package. Remember, Sugar Mute has to do everything I've promised, or you get your money back, even if every bottle is empty. Thank you so much for watching this presentation, and congratulations on taking a huge step towards reclaiming your health and freeing yourself from the daily stress of blood sugar spikes and diabetes complications. Click below to start reversing your type 2 diabetes today. Still deciding? Ask yourself this: what happens if you don't act today? You might spend weeks or months chasing new solutions that still don't work. And while you wait, your blood sugar could continue to spiral out of control, because the longer you stay diabetic, the more damage it causes. Sudden glucose spikes, chronic fatigue, damage to organs, increased long-term health risks. But it doesn't have to be this way. Today, there's no risk. Just choose Sugar Mute and take the first real step toward reversing diabetes for good. Click below to select your package. Enter your payment details on our secure checkout page, and your order will be shipped right away. No matter where you live, shipping is 100% free, and all 3 and 6 bottle packages include both free bonus guides. I truly can't wait for you to experience everything Sugar Mute has to offer. Still watching? Still deciding? That's totally okay. Since we first released this breakthrough formula, we've had an overwhelming response. Our inbox has been flooded with questions about Sugar Mute, so while you're thinking about securing your own supply, I want to take a moment to answer some of the most common questions we get. Why is Sugar Mute different? I've tried everything: medications, supplements, and nothing worked. What makes this any different? Excellent question. Unlike most drugs and supplements that simply mask the symptoms and, by the way, drain your wallet, Sugar Mute was designed to target the true root cause of diabetes, bad bacteria in the gut. It removes harmful bacteria from your intestines and repopulates your gut microbiome with healthy bacteria. This helps increase insulin absorption by up to 400% and boosts your body's ability to metabolize glucose at lightning speed, giving you more energy, less fat, and a real chance at living diabetes-free. And it's not just my opinion. The effectiveness of Sugar Mute has already been scientifically proven, both in clinical testing and in the lives of over 32,000 people who successfully reversed diabetes safely and permanently. Most of these individuals shared that they were tired and frustrated. They had followed all the right steps. They invested time and money in methods that failed. And I get it. I was one of them. You know my story already. But now, you have the same chance I had. The chance to live a life free from illness, free from worry, and fully present for the moments that matter most, with the people you love. How long will it take for me to get rid of type 2 diabetes? The speed at which your body begins metabolizing glucose again and regulating blood sugar consistently and effectively depends on a few key factors, such as how advanced your condition is, how much excess weight you're carrying, and your overall health. So I can't give you a one-size-fits-all timeline. However, most people begin managing their blood sugar just within 7 days and start feeling way more energized, lighter, and healthier almost immediately. In general, it takes about 4 to 6 weeks to completely reverse type 2 diabetes. But please note, it is extremely important that you follow the treatment for a minimum of 3 months, with 6 months being the ideal. Why? Because this way, you don't just reverse the disease, you also help prevent it from returning and support the healing of any complications it may have caused, such as blurred vision, dizziness, low energy, weight gain, and beyond diabetes, Sugar Mute also helps protect your body against the development of chronic illnesses like depression, Alzheimer's, and arthritis. I've had diabetes for 15 years and I'm almost 80. Will Sugar Mute still work for me? Absolutely, no doubt about it. Sugar Mute was developed, tested, and approved to work for everyone, regardless of age, weight, or how advanced your condition may be. You weren't born with diabetes, and you don't have to live or die with it either. Sugar Mute can and will work for you. Start the treatment and watch your blood sugar gradually drop day after day. Feel the stubborn belly fat melt away. Notice your skin become firmer and your vision become clearer. Feel a wave of renewed energy. The freedom to enjoy food again, to play with your grandkids, to go out to dinner with your partner, to live again. I want you to experience all of that, because life can be beautiful again. And remember, if for any reason Sugar Mute doesn't meet your expectations, if after 120 days you don't feel like your blood sugar is fully under control, or if you're simply not thrilled with the results, just reach out and ask for a refund. You'll get your money back, and you can even keep all the bottles as a thank you for trying. There is literally zero risk, so why wait? Click the button below, choose your package, and give it a try. For how long will this offer be available to the public? Honestly, it's hard to say. Even though my mission is to spread this formula to as many people as possible and help lower the national diabetes rate, there are powerful forces that don't want this solution to reach the public. Big pharmaceutical companies don't want Sugar Mute to exist, especially not at a price everyday people can afford. They've tried to silence me before, and I wouldn't be surprised if they tried to do it again. You never know what billion-dollar companies might do. Also, because we focus on ingredient quality, our production timeline is limited. It takes 4 to 5 months to import, produce, and inspect new batches. That's why I strongly recommend you secure your bottles today and get as many as you can to avoid running out and having your treatment interrupted. Is my personal data secure? Yes, completely. Your data is 100% safe and secure. We use one of the largest and most secure payment platforms in the US, with the same encryption used by major banks. So rest assured, your personal and financial information will never be seen by anyone other than our trusted payment processor. How do I order my bottles of Sugar Mute? That's easy. You click the button below this video, choose your preferred package, complete your order on our secure checkout page. Our 6-bottle package is the most popular option, bringing the cost of each bottle down to just $49. Once your order is placed, you'll receive it in just a few days. Start taking 2 capsules each morning, and I'm confident you'll be amazed at how fast your blood sugar starts to stabilize. You'll enjoy less pain and inflammation, younger, smoother skin, a flatter stomach, a leaner, more energized body, and most importantly, the peace of knowing you're taking your health back. Can you picture your happiness and the happiness of those who love you and have been rooting for you all along? So go ahead, Make your purchase now. You have absolutely nothing to lose and everything to gain. Those were the most frequently asked questions. Thank you so much for your time, and I truly hope the next success story we share will be yours. The story of how you got rid of diabetes and began living the joyful, worry-free life you deserve. So click below to get started. I'll see you on the other side.